Hey folks, Kevin here. Well, it's December 16th, 2024, and today one of the things I want to do was to give you a review or at least an introduction to some of the some emergency supplies that I'll be carrying in my Cybertruck. And everyone's going to have different catered emergency supplies to bring with them, and I'm not going to be going over tools and various other equipment that I use for on the farm, for on the rental property, for those sorts of things. This is mainly to just a quick go-to couple of bags that I'm going to have with me in the Cybertruck. We have a really big, powerful flashlight in there. We'll have some small flashlights. We'll have some batteries, and I'll go over those things with you during this video. Okay, first thing I thought I'd do is go over a small emergency first aid kit that I purchased on Amazon. It's in a simple MOLLE bag here. Can be mounted several different ways in your vehicle. I like the MOLLE system an awful lot, so it makes it much easier to attach it to fixed stations, so that when you need it, you know, well, geez, in this one I've got the bandage supplies, and the next one I've got my hemostats, and the next one I've got whatever and all. So let's take a look inside of this this emergency first aid kit here. Now, of course, it depends on what your skills and abilities are, you know, what you actually want to carry with you. I like that this is compact and it's pretty neatly organized, and I like the label systems here as well. So for major trauma wounds, have some larger non-adherent sterile pads. How many is in there? It looks like there's a couple in here. So I'll just go through this first. In this first aid kit, adhesive bandages, they've got 10 minis, 20 standards. I'm going to make sure I get this on camera. 5 fingertip, 5 knuckle, 2 knee and elbow. First aid instruments, they've got a utility scissor, I'll show you that in a minute, 1 metal tweezer, 12 safety pins, some nitrile gloves, cotton swabs, 20 cotton swabs, 1 emergency blanket, first aid guide, an ice pack, trauma pad, triangle bandage as well, 2 sterile gauze pads that are 2x2, a couple of 3x3s, medical tape 1 inch by 5 yards, conforming gauze roll 3 inches by 5 yards, conforming gauze roll 2 inches by 5 yards, 1 elastic bandage 3 inches by 5 yards. Those really do come in very handy, the elastic bandages, and 2 burn care. I'm not sure just what that is. 2 non-adherent pads like we're just looking at that are 2 by 3 inches, and 2 that are 3 by 4 inches. Eye care. They have 2 eye pads that are 2 3/8 by 3 1/7 of an inch. That's an interesting size. CPR, 1 CPR face shield, 1 soap wipe, 2 nitrile gloves, 1 CPR nylon pocket. Antiseptics, they got 4 soap wipes, 4 antiseptic wipes, 10 alcohol prep pads, and 10 sting relief pads. And they have 1 600D polyester bag and a whistle. And I did jot down some additional things that people could be thinking about for their vehicles as well, depending on what you're into. So first aid and medical supplies, trauma shears, and I'll show you a set of those, tourniquets, splints, clotting hemostatic gauze or hemostatic clot material, or hemostats is what I'll be carrying, burn gel, burn dressing, thermometer, nasal airway, oral airway kit, instant cold pack, eye wash irrigation kit, elastic wraps for sprains. So and I'll have some of those in one of our everyday carry Hand warmers, now we're getting into winter survival. Hand warmer, body warmer, Mylar emergency blanket, folding shovel, high quality flashlight with extra batteries, reflective triangle or flares for when you're broken down on the road. Multi-tool, those are really essential. Always have a multi-tool in every vehicle. Fire starting kit, extra warm clothing, portable battery pack. I'd also say good warm hat, good super insulated, very thin coat and pants that you can get as well, a blanket, and maybe even things like garbage bags to put around your feet if you got to go through some frozen wet water and all, if you don't have a good pair of waterproof boots with you. Vehicle accident or stuck scenarios, seatbelt cutter, rescue whistle, roadside assistant kit, windshield scraper, defroster, traction mats, heavy duty tow strap, waterproof insulated gloves, communications and navigation, two-way radio, satellite messenger, road atlas, GPS, and having those as paper as well. So those were some of the things. I'd appreciate anyone's input, share additional items that they think is important, but we'll just go through this kit real quick here. So let me just click my camera here to see if I'm holding this in the correct place. Okay, so we got trauma pads, non-adherent sterile pads, and I'd say get these out and see, do I need more of these? Are they getting old in there for quite a while and all? Eye pads are down in this pocket. Adhesive dressing for minor wounds. Here we got an ice pack in here. Another personal pouch here for you to put your personal stuff. These are their emergency scissors. These, I'm going to keep those in here. Are they great? No. But what do we got? First aid guide in here. A pair of forceps here. They got a little piece of plastic here, or tweezers they call them. Cotton swabs in this area here. Hydrogel burn, scalding, sealed units here. Skin cleaning wipes, hygiene, alcohol wipes, antiseptic cleans. So they're all in here. Here's some of the gauze bandages. Here we have some securing devices. These are your, I can't think of the name right now, but you know, they're pins that you can seal for bandaging to hold things closed and all. A whistle. I didn't blow in it very loud. They've got the CPR kit in here that we talked about. The thing. Oh, they got some gloves in there as well. Gauze, hygiene bandages back here. They've got rescue blanket, like a Mylar. I tucked that back in there. And here we got elastic bandage or a cling wrap, a pair of gloves, hypoallergenic tape, secure dressing, and conforming bandages and all. So that's what's in this kit. I think this is a pretty good kit. I know they have much more expensive ones. This I thought was reasonable for what they were charging on Amazon. I'll put a link in the description below for this particular bag. But it closes up rather nicely, pretty secure, and I think that's good. So we'll close this up for a minute. And one of the things I do want to say, in addition to this, is having your emergency information forms filled out, and that'll be everything from the medications you're on, your doctor's name, the various medical procedures you've had in the past, and the disease processes that you're being treated for now, adverse reactions to any medications in the past, certainly over-the-counter medications or herbal medications or anything that you're taking. All of that information needs to be written down. The dosage, the frequency, the duration, all of those things need to be recorded. Who has your power of attorney, who has your where your living will is as well. You know, you just want to have medical power of attorney, for being able to make the decisions if you're incapable of it. The phone numbers and names of all the people that need to be contacted in the event of an emergency. Your family members, medications and all in case they're traveling with you, or your companions. So you've got their medical information, so you're not trying to think when you've had a good serious injury or you're in shock and you're trying to provide the emergency clinicians information on what to do and so on. And to get that information, go right to our website, mindfullivingsanctuary.com. Under articles, there's one, you have to go down to older articles a few times, and there is a whole section on that emergency information forms that you should have available with you at all times. And having it in a kit like this will make it easier for when you're on the road. And I'd say you really want to update that regularly, because your medications may change, your health status may change, if you have any chronic or debilitating diseases, processes going on. You've got kidney disease, you've got diabetes, you have any implants. All of those things really need to be written down, and family members, who to call in an emergency, and have backups as well. So I think that's about all that I would say about having additional information. Now, I really like these small MOLLE bags like this one here. So it has a few different components. So you have the main bag back here. You have different places for different instruments. I don't know how well this is showing up on camera here, but pouches here, and then you have another compartment with more pouches in here, different places you can put supplies. And then up here in front as well, you can have those medical papers that I talked about as well. And some of these MOLLE bags have Velcro attachment places, and I've got some with Velcro attachment places here as well. This is made so that you can hook onto a MOLLE system as well. So just so that you know which each one of your bags is going to be carrying. So if you need to get something, if you need a glass break, if you need hemostats, if you need splints, you need if someone's stuck in the vehicle and you need to cut their seatbelts, those sorts of things and all. So a good, and I'll try to remember to put a link in the description for these bandage scissors here as well. These are good enough to cut through a seat belt, those very high tough items. I always think you need to have a backup to your backup. So having a good pair of scissors is just as important in an emergency situation as many different things as well. So other scissors, so I'll have a couple of different types of scissors. This is a bandage scissor here. Then we have 4 different hemostats, different sizes. These are curved ones. And we have smaller ones we can get in and hold off vessels that are bleeding as well. We've got, people would call them tweezers, but we have 3 different types of tweezers here for those really fine items, some that have a small tooth on them to go ahead and get a hold of something as well. These don't have a tooth on them. These ones have the big mouth on them as well. And then another type of clamp here as well, similar to the hemostat. And I have other of our medical supplies that I'll be digging out and putting into our MOLLE bags, into our turnout kits as well. But we just want to always be thinking about, so we have an electric vehicles, so we can always have rechargeable setups in there, so we can always be recharging our systems. Now you may want to make sure that you're carrying a battery pack and carrying extra batteries and all, but you just don't want to have a bit like a toolbox and everything just shoved in there. I'd say get things organized. That's the reason that I bought this system. It's kind of compact and very well organized. And I'm not the most organized person on earth, but I do want to get everything organized for when I'm on the road. I know what to grab and all. And I'll be marking each one of these MOLLE bags. I've got several different ones that'll be for different instruments, different supplies. Like for example, I suffer from dry eye, so I've always got to have eye lubricant available to me, especially you get stuck someplace for a while. If I fall asleep, I won't be producing as much tears and I need to lubricate my eyes. So everyone's going to, you always want to think about what are the things that you absolutely are going to depend on for a 24 or 48 hour period. What are you going to need? Up here in the cold weather, besides the blankets, the boots, the blankets, boots, gloves, hats, all of these things, an extra coat, dry pants, all of those sorts of things that I think you should carry in your vehicle, along with a shovel. Many people are going to want to carry chains so they can get unstuck as well. Communication devices and emergency whistles, flashlights or other beacons that can give an SOS or do various strobes as well, flashers, flares, and certainly those road hazard or the road cones, any way of letting people know. So we live in snow country, there's lots of whiteouts here, so we want to make sure that we can get off the road, get into an area where we're not going to be most likely hit by a vehicle. Another thing to consider as well, they make cleats. We have sets of cleats that go on to the base of our boots or shoes, that if we're in a really icy situation and you need to walk on ice, you can slip those over your shoes or your boots and you can walk safely on ice. Is there anything else? So I think that's about it for the things that I can think of right now to include in the kit. Previously, before, when we were doing all the wildlife rescue and dealing with trauma on the road with various critters, whether it's a domestic animal or wildlife, you know, we had a whole variety of things. We had kits for tranquilizing guns, throw nets, snares to be able to now, not the type of snare that you'd see on TV, but these are what we call a snare catch pole, so that we could safely get a hold of a coyote or a raccoon or some animal that was in distress and isn't going to tolerate us messing with them. Including a huge toolbox that looks like a toolbox, which really carried a lot of our medical supplies, including drugs, because we're veterinarians. So some people, they're going to want to make sure they've got an EpiPen. They're going to want to make sure that they've got diphenhydramine, Benadryl, those sorts of things for potential allergic reactions. Some people are going to want to have medications or extra cleaning devices in case they get into poison ivy. So the list can go on to a significant length. The thing is to be thinking about what are the potential scenarios given where you live, your lifestyle, your activities. What do you think would be a really good thing to be completely set in the case of an emergency? Some people are preppers and survivalists, and they're off in the forest all the time, or seeking shelter someplace, really concerned about, you know, like a zombie apocalypse. So their carry bag will be different than mine. It'll be quite different. So if you've got ideas and things that you want to share, please list those in the description below. Make comments, because I think that can help everybody else out there as well. Please, please, please do that. It can be real helpful. I'll go ahead and put a link to the bandage scissors and to the first aid kit there. And of course on Amazon and many places you can find things. And certainly, you know, you want to have non-perishable foods to be able to have with you. Depending on the circumstances, water, certainly drinkable water as well. So the list can go on, and I think that's really important. So if you have any comments or questions, please leave them below. Please contribute. If you've got ideas about things that you think, even if you're not carrying them in your vehicle now, or don't have them when you do your hiking and all, mention those as good things, because it may trigger me to think of something, may trigger someone else to add that to their list as well, and maybe we'll update this as time goes on as well. So I really appreciate you watching this video, and I really appreciate you leaving comments on what you think is valuable to consider carrying with you as well. Thanks so much for watching. Stay safe and take care. Bye-bye now.